earth is that white stuff growing on my submerged plant propagation cuttings? Is it mealybugs? Another pest? Perhaps an infection? Sure enough, I was having a plant parent freakout. I have some important information to share that'll benefit you and your cuttings right now. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing super well. I had a huge plant parent panic attack. I'm going to get to that in a second, but first, if you haven't already, could you please subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to boost up those subscription numbers to give you more planty content like this. Of course, this is panicky planty content, but we've all been there, right? So here's the thing. If you've been watching my videos, in a recent video, a couple of videos back, I chopped down my 20-foot philodendron patriciae. You'll recall it was right over there where I now have my anthurium corner. But when I chopped it down, I did it for two reasons. One, because it was 20 feet tall and my ceilings only go up to 22 feet. And two, I found a couple mealybugs on it. And I didn't want to have them spread, so I thought to myself, well, perfect opportunity, right, to cut this baby down and to get some cuttings. I took 7 cuttings of the plant and put them up into propagation vessels, water propagation vessels individually, which are up there on my cabinets here in my kitchen. But the thing is, a week into having them being water propagated, I started to notice like white fuzzy things growing around the cuttings within the water. I thought to myself, is that mealybugs? Can mealybugs survive underwater? So of course, like any plant parent, I went to the Google machine and I typed in white fuzzy things growing on my plant propagation cuttings in water. And what did I find? Well, turns out they're calluses. When you cut a plant, the exposed cells at the cut end get damaged. The plant's natural defense mechanism triggers rapid cell division at this site, forming a protective layer known as a callus. This rough white tissue protects the cutting from infections and desiccation. The callus also plays a crucial role in rooting. Over time, roots will emerge from this calloused area, leading to successful propagation of the cutting. So while calluses might look a bit like mealybugs at first, they're actually a positive sign that your cuttings are on their way to developing roots. Here's how you can distinguish between calluses and mealybugs. Calluses are white or off-white, rough, and form a thickened layer at the cut end of the stem. They don't move. Mealybugs, on the other hand, appear as small, white, cottony insects that can move and are often found on different parts of the plant. Mealybugs are a type of scale insect that sucks sap from plants. They have a distinctive cotton-like appearance due to their waxy coating, which also protects their eggs. Interestingly, while mealybugs themselves cannot survive underwater, their eggs can. The waxy coating on the eggs allows them to endure submerged conditions, making them quite resilient. So next time you see white bumps on your cuttings, don't panic. It might just be the callus tissue getting ready to grow new roots. Once you see roots forming, you can transfer your cuttings to soil and continue caring for them as usual. Soon, you'll have new, healthy plants growing. Whew. Huge sigh of relief. I mean, for any plant parent, really. But, you know, it did kind of weird me out, the fact that mealybug eggs and their babies can live underwater protected by that waxy coat. But you know what? That is another story. But this one is interesting because while I have probably done hundreds of water propagation cuttings over the last couple of years, I've never seen that sort of white, weird, callousy type formation emerge on the plant cuttings in water. So I was just curious, what are the benefits of something like this? And it turns out there are plenty. So here's the thing. Healthy calloused areas can help the cutting absorb water and nutrients more effectively, which supports the growth of new roots and overall plant health. Callus formation is an indication that the cutting is healing well. A well-formed callus means the plant is effectively sealing off the cut area and preparing it for a new growth. Callus cuttings are generally more resilient to environmental stresses. They can handle changes in water quality, light, and temperature better than non-callus cuttings. The presence of calluses shows that the cutting is viable and actively working to survive and grow. It's a sign that the cutting is responding well to the propagation environment. Calluses signal that the plant is in the process of developing roots. This readiness means that once the roots start to grow, they are likely to do so rapidly and robustly. Cuttings that develop calluses have a higher chance of successful rooting compared to those that do not form calluses. This increases the overall success rate of your propagation efforts. It's funny because afterwards I started looking up as much information as I possibly could, even going to TikTok trying to find videos on it. And then it was just, again, that huge sigh of relief. But there are certain things that you can do to really help encourage this sort of callus that will help promote strong root growth. And they're very simple things. In fact, I actually did them without even thinking about it. One is to leave your cutting dry and let it sit out for a couple of hours, even up to a day. I believe with those philodendron patriciae cuttings, I left them out for about 5 hours before I put them in the water. Still surprised to see that happen within a week. Two, you can use rooting hormone powder. Rooting hormone powder, all you have to do with the cutting is kind of just dip that rooting hormone powder on the end of the cutting, and that will help stimulate that growth. Then, of course, there are the optimal conditions for water propagation. You don't want them, of course, in bright, direct sunlight because that will just mess up the whole process. Why I have mine all the way up there is because during the summer months, up on those kitchen cabinets, well, they get like the perfect amount of bright, indirect light. And I noticed plants rooting like crazy up there during the summer months, and it happens so fast. But yeah, those three things like humidity, lighting, temperature, that's all going to play a huge role and make a big difference when it comes to getting that sort of strong, white, fuzzy, callus type formation on your cutting. So if you're like me and you started to have a panic attack wondering whether or not mealybugs have little scuba gear on and are now attached to the plant that you were trying to save from them, rest assured it is actually a really good and beneficial sign. I'm curious to know, though, if you folks have experienced this, and let me know in the comments below. I always love reading your guys' comments. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my plenty videos. And if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you can see more fun and interesting planty content just like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video.